Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about what happens when walking for weight loss does not work for you. So in this video, we're gonna cover my top 5 favorite tips for what you can do when walking for weight loss does not work for you. Let's dive in now. So I've seen this too many times to count. You've been walking for weight loss, you've lost 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds, and then one day you step on the scale expecting to see your normal weight loss rate, and it's not there. You're not losing any more weight. What happened? So one of the side effects of walking for weight loss is weight loss, and ideally you're losing fat, you're eating well, you're walking consistently. However, there often is a point for many people that once they get up to a certain amount of walking, a certain intensity of walking, a certain speed of walking, their body is going to adapt to that and get used to it. And it does this through a number of different mechanisms. It can adjust for hunger, so that you're hungry more. It actually adjusts for the exercise, so that actually your heart rate doesn't go up quite as much, so you're essentially not burning as many calories. But the bottom line is your weight loss stops. What do you do? So here are my top 5 favorite tips to ensure that walking for weight loss continues to happen for you. Now, the top 5 tip doesn't seem like it necessarily applies, but trust me, it does. My 5th favorite tip is weigh yourself every day. By weighing yourself every day, your awareness of what you're eating, how much activity you're getting in, how much exercise you're getting in, and the knowledge that it provides you with what direction to go and to do something different about your program is so helpful and critical. Whereas if you only weigh in once a week, once every couple weeks, if you don't even weigh in at all and you're like, I don't seem to be losing weight, then you can fall into a trap of vagueness and doubt. And what that does is it gives you less motivation to continue doing what you're doing. And it's quite possible that it's just a small little plateau that you hit and you have to keep doing what you're doing. You'll eventually break through it. So have patience. But the bottom line is for this tip is that it's going to give you motivation to be able to do something different and modify what you're doing so you can meet the demands to continue losing weight. So my 4th recommendation is to modify your calories. So if you've lost weight already, chances are that you don't need as many calories as you needed before. So in that case, you may want to reduce your calories, which can help you to continue losing weight while you're walking even the same amount for weight loss, right? Remember, we're not just accomplishing weight loss using just walking, we're using nutrition and walking together. So a little tweak in the nutrition and reducing how much you eat can go a really long way for you. All right, number 3, use a heart rate monitor. The one that I use is called Morpheus, but you can use any heart rate monitor. And I would recommend at a minimum trying to get your heart rate up to 100 beats per minute. And if you've already been tracking your heart rate, what you would have likely noticed if you have plateaued and have not lost any more weight while you've continued to do the same thing is that maybe when you started walking, your heart rate got up to around 110, right? And you're thinking, okay, this is kind of challenging. And if you've lost a fair amount of weight and if you've been walking very consistently, then what you likely notice is that your heart rate has gone down, right? And that correlates with burning less calories. And so the goal then is to, and think about it, it makes sense, right? If you're carrying 30 extra less pounds, your body's gonna be more efficient at walking. So in that case, you could add in maybe a little jogging, maybe a backpack, a heavier backpack walking, maybe carrying some weights, maybe going incline treadmill walking. There's a lot of different ways that we can increase the intensity, but one of the most important things is ensuring that your heart rate is high enough to be able to burn the same amount of calories as when you started initially. My number 2 tip for walking for weight loss is to increase the intensity of walking for weight loss, which I kind of just mentioned. But if you're not using a heart rate, then it's critical that you need to either walk longer, you need to walk faster, or you need to put on the load that maybe is equivalent to what you started out weighing originally, right? So if you lost 30 pounds, maybe a 30-pound backpack actually could be helpful for you as long as your joints are okay with it, especially your knees and your hips. And that can allow you then to burn at least as much calories as when you first started walking, or even more calories, right? So it is sometimes important to increase the intensity at which you're walking. And my number 1 tip to help get you out of a rut if you've plateaued with walking for weight loss is to use some cross training. That would mean that you're using some resistance training or strength training, and something that probably would be low impact. Because if you have been overweight or obese or carrying a lot of weight for a large period of time, it's often not so helpful to get in a lot of pounding. And even, believe it or not, even walking can be hard on a lot of people's joints when they start out, but when they lose weight, it often becomes easier and easier. And there are other ways that we can make sure that the impact on your body is safe for you. And that includes stationary bikes or regular bikes. You can do stair climbers, potentially using arm supports, and you can use something like an elliptical to make sure that it's low impact in helping your body. And even a lot of people think resistance training is kind of like, oh, that's a hard load on the body. Not necessarily, actually. You can do a lot of movements which are very healthy for your body and support it. And if you can do them pain-free and progress them, that can allow your body to get in a healthy diversity of movement that will keep you healthy. And the inclusion of resistance training actually will allow you to lose more fat. Whereas if you do no resistance training, you're likely going to lose some fat and muscle at the same time. So including, especially my favorite, resistance training, but at least some cross training to help your efforts can make things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. And if you're not exactly sure what to do, you can just get started with one of those. And if you can't do one of them, hey, just go out walking. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to bash that. Walking is still the best form for exercise that human beings have available to them. So have you plateaued while walking for weight loss? And if so, what are you doing about it? Let me know in the comment sections below. I'm happy to answer also any questions you might have. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.